Hey everybody, welcome back to 8-Minute Morning. Today's video is just general back care, back maintenance. So if you woke up in the morning, you tend to have a stiff back, especially a lower back. This is a practice that I like to do just to sort of keep myself healthy. We're going to start lying down. You could be on the floor or in the bed, and let's get started. So the first thing that I like to do when I am having a stiff back in the morning is pull my knees into my chest. And you could do that by using a strap or a piece of clothing. You could pull your knees wide if you want, but I pull my knees into my chest, which just lengthens out the lower back. And I like to rock myself back and forth a little bit. And then I'm just going to take a couple of deep breaths, drawing my awareness to the place where I feel the pain in my back. All right, I'm going to move next towards a twist. So I'm going to let my feet come down to the floor. I'm going to move my hips over towards the left, and I'm letting my knees and my feet come over towards the right. Now you may want to put padding between your knees. I like to use a pillow when I'm in bed. And then we're going to open the left arm out towards the left. Now, when I'm feeling really stiff in my thoracic spine, I have to pad underneath this arm. In this moment, I'm not going to do it, but because I don't have any padding and I am a little tight in my chest right now, I'm just going to lower my arm down slightly. You could look straight up towards the ceiling. If it's comfortable to look towards the left, you could follow the spinal curve towards the left. And then same thing here. I'm going to use my breath, just imagining that I could breathe into the places where I feel tightness or tension. All right, I'm going to move myself back to center and take the other side. Hips over towards the right. I'm bringing my knees and my feet over towards the left. I'm opening my arm out to the right. I'm going to drop that arm down just a little bit. Chin wherever is comfortable, maybe in the direction of the extended arm. And then again, I'm just using a couple of breaths just to open up some space in the back. Lots of back pain can be restored through imagery in the breath by retraining the muscles of the breathing and retraining where we hold tension. All right, I'm going to go ahead and bring myself back to center, readjusting my hips back to the center of the mat. Now for me, I often wake up with a lot of lower back pain, though it can go upwards. And so to protect my lower back here, I'm going to do a couple of just pelvic tilts or isolations. So my tailbone is at the end of the pelvis here, and I'm going to tuck my tailbone under. So I'm going to push my lower back towards the floor. Now, as I do that, I'm feeling my navel draw in a little bit. I'm feeling my belly muscles contract. So I'm getting a little core support. So I'm just going to do that a couple times. I'm going to find some core support, maybe on an exhale. And then I'm going to release it. And take a nice, soft, easy inhale. And then I exhale. I'm just going to find that tilt, pushing the lower back towards the floor, a little bit of activation in my core. And then I'm going to release, and I'm just going to do that one more time. So if you're having low back pain, this is a great way to just get the core supporting you a little bit. All right, I'm going to go ahead and roll over onto my stomach. Okay, now on the stomach, I'm going to do a couple things to strengthen through some of the supporting muscles around the glutes. I've done this one many times in many videos. I find it very helpful. So I'm going to start by reaching my leg. I'm going to start with my left leg, so far back behind me that it floats up off the floor. So I'm thinking about reaching it out, and that lifts it up. And I might even let myself lift up so high that I kind of get a little lift on the front of the hip, and that lengthens the left lower back. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the right. I'm going to reach my leg so far back behind me, till it floats a couple inches off, maybe even just an inch is enough till I get that length in the lower back. It's a nice feeling there. Now I'm going to do the same thing with both. I'm going to go ahead and put my head down here. Now it's not important that my feet come up high. On my inhale, I'm going to widen my feet as wide as the mat. And exhale, and I'm going to come back to those two parallel lines with my legs. I'm just going to do that about 4 more times. Now, if you're having sciatica or you know that it's good for you to do this, you might do this a couple more times, do some more reps. I think this is just a great way to activate the lower body, find some of the smaller muscles to support you. All right, to come out of this, I'm gonna let my toes come to touch, my heels come wide, and then just shake my hips from side to side. All right, I'm gonna roll back over onto my back. Now the next thing that I'm going to do here is a bridge pose, and you probably will see this a lot in other yoga videos. So I start with bent knees, just easy hips distance between the feet, and I'm going to lift myself up off the floor. Now from here, if I want to include my upper back a little bit, I could walk my shoulders towards one another a little bit, but really letting my neck stay nice and easy. Okay, so from here, in some yoga classes, you might hear to release the buttocks, and that's fine. It's getting you into some smaller muscles. But for me, with my back pain, I've found that actually finding my glutes here is helpful. So I'm not thinking about squeezing. I'm just thinking about firming. I'm using those muscles to support me. Now, if you're really squeezing and your knees are starting to pop out and you're not using your inner thighs or adductors, then you do want to try to soften your knees back to center. Drop through your hip crease a little bit, let the inner thighs do a little bit of work. But for me, I'm also simultaneously using my glutes. And then from here, I like to do just a couple pulses just to really find the glutes. Now, the reason this has been really important for me is that when I'm doing a lot of sitting in a chair or a lot of driving, I find that if my glutes aren't strong, I am likely to have some low back pain. I'm going to lower myself down. I'm going to take a breath just to let the spine neutralize. I might also do another one of those tucks under, and then I'm going to take that again. I can bring the arms down by the sides. You could grab to the sides of your mat if you want. Walk your shoulders underneath you a little bit. Pull the sides of that mat apart. Focusing again on finding a little structure and a little support. Again, not squeezing so much that the knee splay opens. We're looking for a middle path on this one. And then I'm gonna go ahead and lower down here. And I'm gonna spend a moment just to let my breath adjust, my back adjust. And then one more thing to let the back adjust. I'm just gonna walk my feet as wide as my mat, let my knees come over to one side in a twist, and then pass through center. Just neutralizing the vertebrae of the spine a little bit, sending a little ease there. Now I'm going to recommend one more thing before moving on today, which is a number 4 stretch, because for me, when I do activate my glutes and my piriformis can sometimes kick in and get a little more active, I just like to spend a moment just opening the back of those muscles. So I cross an ankle over my knee, draw the knee in towards the chest. You could also use a strap around your thigh to be drawing in. And I'll just take a couple breaths here. I might even do a little bit of rocking. And then taking the other side. Couple of breaths, maybe a little bit of rocking. You might draw your knees back into the chest one more time if that feels good to you. All right, that's it for today. Again, this video was super general, but if you are having consistent back pain, I recommend taking a look at the low back series in Yoga for Everybody. There's some stuff on the upper back as well if that's where you're having pain. As always, feel free to reach out to me with questions or special requests. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.